godt, den er oppe over kantstenen. Flot Disney-landskab. What's up everybody and welcome to this potentially first winter and snow drive of FSD here in Europe. I haven't seen one in snow here yet, so I hope this is going to be super exciting. As you can see, we start off in the center of Køge, where all the snow has already been removed. Quick little roundabout here. Nothing exciting happening, of course. But as you will see later in the video, there will be some more challenging areas where the snow hasn't been removed in little neighborhoods. So let's see what happens. Okay, so this is where things start to get a little interesting. We are now entering a little local neighborhood, and first we see a big truck in the way of making our right turn, and there's actually so little space that the car chooses to go up with the right side on the sidewalk, and it keeps going there until it finds a nice ramp down, and then it goes down and goes back into the street again. I've never seen that ever before. It's completely intuitive and the way I would have done it if I was in that situation. And then here we've now arrived at our destination, so we'll just plot in a new destination and get going again. And since this is the end of the road, we have to do a little 3-point turn, which is nice and slow to begin with, but as you'll see in a moment, we actually, I don't know if it got a little bit attracted to going up on the sidewalk, but we actually just slightly bump up on the sidewalk here, which is a little on the rough side maybe of what maybe I would have done an extra turn. But we got through nice and safely and we are back on the road again. And here we come up to a completely normal right-hand turn in a crossing, which is nothing special, but I just want to highlight how slow and smooth and steady it is. It just feels like your own personal limo driver. It's super amazing. And here we get up to a classic roundabout where we have to take the technically second turn, but we have to go 3/4 around, and it just goes nice and steady, no hesitation whatsoever, one smooth motion, which is exactly what we want to see. And here we are just leaving a destination we set, which is actually a situation where I chose to park in a parking space, even though it's technically not currently supported here in Europe. Either way, it very nicely backs out of the parking space, and then we leave the parking lot here, going over some of these super slow bumps in the road, which it slows for exactly as it should. And here we just have a classic unprotected left turn with a kind of fake turn lane without any markings, but it correctly uses the median to make the unprotected left with no significant traffic. And here we have another left, this is a right-hand turn where the right side was actually quite hard to see, but there was no hesitation. It just kept a smooth motion all the way through the turn. This is a left-hand turn this time, where it's of course waiting for this car to pass before we can move on into the next turn. And this is when the weather started turning a little bit to the worst side. Snow started falling heavier. Here we are driving on a normal highway with 70 kilometers per hour speed limit. And we can see here the safety driver was feeling in a little holiday mood after Christmas and putting on Santa mode for us, which was nice, fitting to the environment. And as you can see here, the road is actually getting more and more covered in snow again, but the car is taking it super smooth. It's actually slowing down for the conditions. It's not driving to the speed limit. Of course, we are following a car here, but it was actually adapting to the situation very nicely, more than I expected, honestly. And here you can see the snow is actually coming down quite thick, limiting visibility a little bit, but of course that was no problem. And here we need to get into the left turn lane, and as you can see, it's actually quite covered in snow everywhere, so it's quite hard to see the lane markings, but it has no issue placing itself in the right way. And you can see here it's actually slowing quite a lot down in order to make this left turn safely, even though the surface is super slippery. If it had gone just 10 kilometers per hour faster, it would definitely have slid out in it. Very nice to see. And here is another left-hand turn where there is actually technically a median to place yourself in, but it's such a short turn that it just does exactly what the car in front does, which is to make the turn immediately since there's no traffic in the opposite direction. And now we're actually entering another little neighborhood where you can see the road is here almost completely covered, but as we make this left turn, it is completely covered in snow. No lane markings, no road edges obvious to see, but as you can see on the visualization on the screen, it has no issue actually deducing where the edges of the road is. And here it just arrived at the destination, so it just pulls over. And now, since this is the end of the road, we actually have to make another 3-point turn here in the snow. And it first turns right here all the way to the edge, backs up, and you can again see clearly on the visualization that it knows where it can go and where it can't go. Then moves forward and realizes there's actually not quite enough space, so we make a slight reverse again, and then we pull forward and we can return back to where we came from in the completely snow-covered road. And here we again need to make a right-hand turn, and as you can see, it goes all the way down to 11 kilometers per hour to make it a super safe right-hand turn without sliding out. Now, as you can see, we are actually on the highway now, and the conditions are not amazing. Vehicles on the side of the road, because for whatever reason they might be stuck. If you can see on the screen, the speed limit here is actually 130 kilometers per hour, or about 85 miles per hour. But even though we could theoretically go much faster, the vehicle actually chooses to slow way down to just 80 or 90 kilometers per hour in order to drive safely. I unfortunately didn't get a video of us driving into the highway on the on-ramp, but I've taken that stretch of road before on FSD where it would very, very quickly get up to 130 kilometers per hour. But today in the snow, it actually took a very, very slow acceleration down the on-ramp before it then only got up to around 80 or 90 kilometers per hour. Super amazing to see. And as we're leaving the highway here, we're actually coming to the end of today's FSD ride-along. Thank you so much for watching. I think it was super, super cool to see how the car actually behaved in winter weather here in Europe. And just as the first drive in dry weather, there was no unpleasant surprises. Thank you all for watching.